It's another Monday morning, and you know what that is? It's another Greg T Live podcast. And it's always something crazy at Ray Catena. Today, we're at Ray Catena Land Rover in Edison, right here in New Jersey, right on Route 1. This is going to be an awesome show. Now we got to get down off this amazing, brand new 2025 Land Rover Defender. Check it out. With its own ladder. I mean, I feel incredible. Now, let's do it. Come on, in 5. Come on with me. 4. Are you guys ready? 3. We've got a great show planned for you today. 2. 1. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. It's Greg T Live on a Monday morning. Let's go.
Welcome to Greg T Live, episode 24. We are at stop 4 of the GTL Ray Catena Summer Tour and are live from Land Rover in Edison, New Jersey. Today's show is sponsored by CNC Heating and Cooling. We are super excited to continue our summer tour and bring on our special guest, Erin Peters from the Project Purple. Greg T, take it away.
All right, and as they say in showbiz, and we're live. It's Greg T Live on this Monday morning. We are live in Edison, New Jersey, right on Route 1 at Ray Catena Land Rover of Edison. I'm Greg T. Now, usually I have Garrett with me. Garrett, if you're watching right now, what are you doing? You're on vacation in Mexico. Go enjoy yourself. So Garrett's on vacation. So I have back with us again for a second run at this. It is Doug Wells, the general manager of Ray Catena Mercedes-Benz here in Edison. What's up?
How are you, my friend? I'm glad I can help out. Any chance you need help, I'll try and do my best.
You know, you're really becoming quite the professional podcaster now, because now I'm seeing you on other people's podcasts and stuff. You know, you've got a face for radio. That's what they're saying about you now.
Well, that's for sure.
All right, it is a Greg T Live podcast, and we've got a great show planned for you. We do have something extremely local. We have a charity that we're going to be talking to later on today, Project Purple. We're going to be talking about their Pretzel 5K run that's coming up in just a couple of weeks, and we're also going to talk about the F1 movie that just came out with Brad Pitt. I mean, it was amazing.
It was phenomenal.
So you saw the movie?
I saw the movie on Friday.
We're going to get right into it, I guess. So let's just get right on into it. So F1 came out on Friday. It did incredible. Over $150 million it brought in just its opening weekend. Everybody is raving about it. Now, here's what I'm hearing, because now you saw it. I'm going to set this whole thing up. I hear it's got this Top Gun feel to it. I'm hearing that once you get into your car after you've seen it, like you think you want to drive an F1 car. Tell me all about the movie.
So what first got us into F1 is Mercedes-Benz had invited my wife and I a couple of months ago to go down to the F1 race in Miami. I've never been to an F1, didn't know a lot about the F1 race. Learned a lot by going there. It was 2 days. It was exciting. It was interesting. It was just off the chart. And, of course, they were promoting the movie down there. And I understand Netflix has a live series. We had to sign waivers because we could be on film.
Gotcha. Yeah, so Netflix is out. I'm not sure what season they're up to. I'm going to say that they're up to maybe season 4 on Netflix. And yeah, it's called F1 as well. And it's really neat how they take you, behind the steering wheel. They show you all the drivers. They even go into their pits. They do an up close and personal. I would think that Netflix is probably doing really well with it, because I think it's a great series.
I think I like the golf shows, which is great.
The golf thing
is
great.
Swing,
yeah,
which is also great. But so if that's anything like this, so I'm going to watch that too.
Sure.
So my wife got into it. She couldn't believe all the, like she'd be into car racing.
Yeah.
So we saw the movie coming out.
Were you into NASCAR before Formula One?
When I was young, I watched NASCAR, but then my problem with NASCAR is I can't sit around for 3 hours and just watch cars go around in a circle.
But there's a strategy to it. Everybody says that, but there's so much more involved.
There's a lot of strategy behind it.
And,
and I remember going to my first stock car race, and I was like 14 years old. I won a sales contest. It was the Schaefer 500 out there in the Poconos.
Oh, get out of here, really?
Yeah.
That's neat. That's really neat.
So I told my wife and my daughter, I said, we've got to go see the movie. So my wife tells my daughter, you got to go. Brad Pitt's in it.
Ah, gotcha. And doesn't your wife call you the Brad Pitt of car dealerships?
She calls me the Brad Pitt of the car business.
Oh, the car business. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen.
By the way, with a laugh.
Please, why don't you message me at Greg T Live on Instagram? Is this not the Brad Pitt of the car business? Is Doug Wells?
Make fun of me now.
Doug Wells. I want to hear everybody's messages. I'll read them back next week so Doug can get a big laugh out of it. Message me at Greg T Live. All right, go ahead.
First of all, him and I are the same age.
Okay.
and my wife wanted to point that out.
All right.
But I do not have that washboard stomach.
No, none of us do. None of us do. No. Very hard. You know, if you're rich and famous, you've got time to devote to go to the gym, to work out. You've got money to go out and buy, like, the medicines that you need to lose weight. You could do all those things. But if you're a normal guy like you and I, all bets are off.
Yeah,
we're as good looking as we get.
She told me, I think he had some work done on his face. I said, well, I'm not getting anything done on mine.
No.
And, and I'm not dyeing my hair. I am what I am.
I'm telling you, it's the celebrities with the extra income that they can just throw it around and do whatever they want. You know, they always look good, and they're selling themselves.
But I have to say, he did a great job, and not that he had to really go over the top with it. This role was perfect for him.
What's it all about? Because is it just about car racing? What is the actual premise?
So
about
it's
F1?
about the movie is about a race team that is owned by his old friend that he used to race with and against when they were real young.
Mercedes?
They drive Mercedes cars, but it's a different Mercedes. It's not the it's AMG, but it's not the Petronas team.
Gotcha.
So they were smart not to mix the teams up.
Okay.
They made up a whole new team.
Oh, so in the movie it really is Mercedes, but in the movie they changed it to a different.
No, so there's two. So the Mercedes team, the Petronas team, is actually in the movie also.
Oh, okay.
They have all the regular teams. They just added this team.
Oh, so
this is a make-believe team
for the movie.
But it's Mercedes and AMG.
Okay, gotcha.
It happens to be a giant Mercedes-Benz commercial. There is a little bit of Porsche in there and some Ferrari in there. But,
well, you got to have Ferrari in there for F1 for sure.
But it's for people that want to have some fun and enjoy something.
Yeah.
This movie will be off the rails. So it's got a little bit of everything in it, and I love there's a scene, and I call it the card playing scene, which I'm not going to discuss. I want everybody to go see the movie.
But Brad Pitt, he's the
old driver that still goes around racing in cars.
So he hasn't retired yet.
He's been out of Formula One for like 30 years, and when you watch the movie, you'll understand why he was out of Formula One.
Oh, okay.
But I don't want to say it because then I'll be ruining the premise.
Okay. You're good. Nobody has to turn it off. I haven't seen it either, so I'm learning too. I don't want to know how it ends. But I don't want any of that.
But he's the old driver that this team which was in big trouble because they hadn't even gotten into the points, and they needed somebody to help them get into the points. And he's this driver that just happens to be in the right place, right time,
right,
and gets asked to come on the team.
Gotcha.
And he ends. The rest of the movie is you got to watch.
Now, what about
And every character in this movie, they have a woman engineer that helps design the race car.
Yeah.
And in the they talk about how she's the first woman engineer so they have a young driver in it that's a new young superstar hot driver, and just everybody in this movie I thought did a great job.
So they really did a good job casting it.
100%, and they all complemented each other.
Mm-hmm.
So
what about Hamilton that's in it? He's the professional driver.
So he's in it as a professional driver, but he is one of the producers because he actually produced and gave them basically all the details on even the sound quality of the race car when it's doing a certain thing, all those little details. So by having somebody that's, I think, a 6 or 7 time champion helping you go over the stuff.
Yeah, right. It makes it much more believable.
100%. So
yeah.
Anybody
and
has
that's Jerry Bruckheimer's thing, is to make sure that the audience feels it, like he did with Top Gun. It just came to me who made it. But yeah, so Jerry Bruckheimer, he got all the actors in the actual airplanes for Top Gun. So I would imagine that same thing. He wants to bring that kind of a feeling, to the audience about a race car.
Yeah, and it's really, really interesting. I mean, when I went down to the one driver for Mercedes-Benz is this young kid, just turned 18, Kimi Antonelli. Here he is driving Formula One cars.
18 years old.
18, just turned 18, like
Holy.
a month and a half ago. And he didn't even have his regular driver's license yet until he turned 18.
Oh, my God.
So here he is driving Formula One race cars at over 200 miles an hour.
Wow.
And didn't have a driver's license.
Wow. What was the earliest age that you drove a car?
I think the earliest age was around 11.
11, you were in a car driving? Wow. Mine was 15. I know exactly where I was and why I drove a car and where I even drove the car to. But I remember being 15 years old behind the steering wheel. I had never driven before.
When I was young, you got your license at 16.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So you're kidding me. Oh, so you were on the cusp of when they moved it to
correct.
To 17.
My actual years when they changed the. I was born in October of '63.
Mm-hmm.
I was also on that cusp when they went from 18 to 21.
Ah.
I was able to.
Nice.
I was grandfathered on that one also.
Wow. All right. Yeah, no, for me, I
just showed my age, though, didn't I?
Hey, but it is a good question. I'd love to know, where were you and why did you drive a car at a young age? So message me at Greg T Live on Instagram. I'd love to read some of your responses. I want to know, what age were you and why did you have to get behind a car and drive the car? Maybe you were just goofing around. I don't know. But I was 15, and true story, my father had my mother had a flat tire, and she needed to get home. And my father and I went to go fix the car, and then somebody had to drive it home. So he drove that one home once he fixed it, and then I had to drive the other car, and that's what. So it wasn't far, but I did have to drive the car from point A back to the house.
And at first, you were a little nervous.
I was when he turned around. He was like, "Get in, you're driving," and I'm like, "I'm driving? I have no driver. I've never driven before. I never." Yeah.
So I have a similar story. So we had a neighbor. His father was in the construction business.
Yeah.
And my mother taught me a valuable lesson years ago. Like especially when we got into the teen years, if you wanted to go out and have a good time and get home at 4 a.m,
yeah,
but you had to be at work at 6. You're at work at 6. There's no excuses. But before I was, legally able to drive, he would come around and we would have to think. He would drive the one truck and it would be a second truck, and he'd be like, Doug, because I was the tallest. Doug, you
can
drive
reach the pedals.
You drive this truck to the construction site,
Yeah,
and that's how I started to learn how to drive.
Well, listen, and here we are today. But what I'm hearing about is that once you see this movie, you feel like you want to get there. I was listening on the way in, and somebody on the radio said everybody feels like they want to drive an F1 car the moment you see that movie. When it's all over, it's like when you saw Top Gun, you're like, oh my God, I want to join the military. I want to fly an airplane.
So one of the things people don't realize is, and if you get a chance, we have two simulators in our Porsche building.
Oh, you do?
So you can actually go there and actually drive a race car.
Oh my God, you're
as
kidding
if you're
me.
driving a race car.
Oh, I didn't know you have that.
Yeah, so you could really get a full experience, and it's a real life.
Where do you have it? At Porsche?
At Porsche on the second floor.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So you could sit down and you could drive on a track, and you'll realize that this is not the easiest thing in the world.
Right.
As a matter of fact, the steering wheel can, a lot of drivers have had their wrists broken because the loose, and because that wheel turns, it's so tight, and they're holding onto it, it could break their wrist in a heartbeat. These are little things that you learn, and there's a million buttons and a million controls that they have for settings. And the engineering and talking to the engineer, you got to go see the movie. It's going to give you an idea that you're going to want to watch an actual Formula One race, which, believe it or not, I think is only like 65 or 70 some odd laps. It's not a very long race.
No, gotcha. So it's not, but it's the distance that they drive.
Correct.
Gotcha. Right. Okay. No, listen, there was every single Sunday on ESPN, they have Formula One driving. So I watched a little bit of that. I think because of all the press that F1 has been doing, now I'm like watching it, and I never watched F1. It wasn't my thing. NASCAR I watched, but I never watched Formula One. So maybe I'll start really getting into it and learn about some of the drivers and who they are. And who's the 18-year-old again?
Antonelli. Kimi Antonelli.
All right, I'll try to check him out. I don't know much about him. I will do my research and see how it goes. All right, so listen, that's pretty cool. Now, the other reason that you're here is that you were on the Greg Kelly podcast.
I got invited to be on his radio show and his podcast to film it.
Yeah.
So he asked me to come on. And I said to talk about the car industry, and I got a chance to go into the seat, and I got a chance to meet him. I used to love him when he was on 5 in the mornings, with Roseanne Scotto.
Is he on Newsmax?
He's on Newsmax?
Oh,
now.
He is on Newsmax. Okay, I wasn't sure. I think I've seen him on TV. I just didn't know exactly which news outlet he was on. I remember when he was on with Roseanne Scotto on Good
great.
Day New York, on Channel 5. Yeah, that was a good day, and they played off of each
other.
Really well.
They were really good together, and my wife was so really want to be, and I'm telling him.
Yeah.
So my wife was so proud. Now that you're married and you have 2 kids.
Right.
Because she's just happy for him, and I had to have a picture taken so I could send it to her.
Yeah.
I invited her to come so she could actually meet him, and he was taller than I expected. So
really?
He says he's 6 foot. I thought he was a little taller than me. I'm 6 foot, but really, really nice guy, and enjoyed meeting him, and now he'll become a future customer.
Well, you did a good job. I have to be honest. I watched all 17 minutes of the podcast, and I thought it was very good. I think that, you're doing so much for Ray Catena, in general with media. I mean, and you're on a lot of radio stations, as you are promoting the cars and stuff like that. So I think you've become accustomed to it now. It's starting to, show. It really is, and I think you did a great job. I don't think that you weren't nervous. I think you held an amazing conversation. And I think the two of you fed off of each other really well.
Well, I thank you. And
yeah.
Even my hairdresser got a before we went on air. He goes, "Who cuts your hair?" And I said, "I have a stylist that's been cutting my hair now for like 14 years.
You got to look good when you work at Ray Catena."
She uses only scissors, for every little thing. It's no buzzing and all scissor work.
You got to look good here, Ray Catena. That's what it is.
And they massage your head when they get your hair washed.
Oh, well, why would they not? I mean, come on.
But,
when you're paying the big bucks.
So I actually gave him her name and phone number. I said, "You'll go to," he goes, 100%. So here I am helping out of the blue.
Yeah. No, I think you did a great. Everything was great. Everything was terrific. I think you should really think about maybe starting your own podcast. And listen, the reason why I had you on a second time is I think the first time that you were on Greg T Live, we had a great time. And same thing, conversation just flows. You're really becoming very natural at this now. You really are.
All right, I'm good. I'm just going to be a guest once in a blue moon with you.
Well, I can count on you.
I have to sell cars.
I'm telling you, I checked just a couple of other people, but that were in the radio business, but they're all on vacation, so nobody could be here. So I'm thinking, well, who's my next best go-to? It's going to be Doug Wells. So that was it. So
I appreciate it.
Yeah, you were definitely on the top list of the second tier. I know that doesn't sound right, but you understand. I went to the radio people first, and then I came to you, and you're
once
perfect.
Again, face for radio.
We're going to get into now. He also has some broken ribs. We're going to find out why in just a little bit. We do have to take a break. My camera guys are telling us that we have to go to a Where to Go. So when we get back, we're also going to sit down now with a local New Jersey charity, Project Purple, and we're going to talk to their ambassador, Erin Peters. She'll be on with us. I think we're going to try to get the CEO of Project Purple on with us as well to talk about their event that's coming up on July 13th. It's called the 5K Pretzel Run. So we're going to talk about the Pretzel Run with Project Purple. Say that. I
you would actually make the 5K if they kept pretzels in front of you.
Oh, that's exactly right. These days, I used to be a runner back in the day, but I haven't run in so many years. So now I would need to be, dangle that carrot out there for me. That's the way I'm running across the 5K. So anyway, if you're a small business, I want you to message me at Greg T Live. This is the time of the podcast where I stop down and we play some commercials from some of the small businesses that are sponsors here with Greg T Live. So if you are a small business and you'd like to advertise here with Greg T Live, again, message me on Instagram at Greg T Live, and I'll make sure that you guys are aware to go next week. So ladies and gentlemen, it's our first stop down. This is Where to Go. If you're craving that real Nashville flavor, well, you want to go over to Broadway Chicken in Middletown, New Jersey, where they are serving up the crispiest fried chicken that you've ever tasted, seasoned with that bold, spicy Nashville kick. Dig into saucy wings, juicy sandwiches, and a garden fresh salad as well. Then for dessert, how about a thick, creamy ice cream shake that's going to hit that sweet spot every single time. Whether you're all about that heat or just keeping it classic, there's something for everyone at Broadway Chicken, Route 35 in Middletown, New Jersey. Bringing that Nashville flavor right here to New Jersey with Broadway Chicken. That's where to go.
Where to go.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Greg T. So I'm starting my GLP-1 medication journey with Forward Care. They work with only U.S.-based compound pharmacies. They manufacture everything in the United States. Everything is specifically curated for you and your plan. And they also pair you with an experienced physician. So Forward Care makes these medications not only super easy to access, but also offers the best prices on the market. I encourage you to go to Forward Care's website to learn more and join me on my health journey. And we'll do it together. Just go to forward.care and enter the code GREG25, and you're going to get 25% off your membership.
Now, if you don't know, Playa Bowls is the popular chain specializing in acai bowls, smoothies, and other superfruit-based treats. Now, Playa Bowls got started back in 2014 right at the Jersey Shore and has grown all across the U.S. They have bowls like acai, dragon fruit, coconut greens, topped with fresh fruit, granola, a little honey, and other healthy ingredients. So as summer approaches, get beach-inspired, health-conscious smoothie bowls over at Pliables in Princeton, South Brunswick, and East Windsor, New Jersey. Pliables, that's where to go.
All right, guys, and again, if you're a small business, message me at Greg T Live, and you will be a where to go for us next week. It's Greg T Live. We're doing it this week because we know we're doing the summer tour. So we've been visiting all of the Ray Catena showrooms in the tri-state area, and today's stop is in Edison, New Jersey, right here on Route 1. We're at Land Rover Edison, Ray Catena Land Rover. I'm Greg T. Garrett's on vacation, so Doug Wells, the general manager of Ray Catena Mercedes-Benz, is sitting in with me today. We're having a great time. We've already talked about F1. In case you're just joining us, we've talked about F1, and now it is a time for us to turn our attention to our first guest of the morning, and it is Erin Peters. Erin is the ambassador of Project Purple, the charity here in New Jersey, and she's also in charge of what's called the 5K Pretzel Run. How you doing, Erin?
Hey, Greg. Thanks
Hi,
for having
Erin.
me.
Nice.
Hi, Doug. Nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure.
You're doing great today.
So far.
Garrett, better watch out.
You see? There you go. I'm telling you. He gets nervous and thinks he's not doing well, but he really is doing great.
Agree.
Yeah, I agree. So, Erin, tell me a little bit right off the bat about Project Purple, and what do people need to know about Project Purple?
Sure. Well, Project Purple is a charity that's very important to me. The mission statement that it has is a world without pancreatic cancer.
Right.
It's a Connecticut-based 501c3 organization that I became heavily involved in 2023. I lost a friend, unfortunately, in 2022. His name was Jordan Shackelford. He was 42 years old.
So young.
3 months from diagnosis to when he passed. And at the time he passed, his youngest daughter was a year and a half.
Wow.
And I just was devastated by this, as we all were.
Sad story.
And you know me at this point, I'm a little bit of a go-getter, and I thought, what can I do for the family besides just saying I'm thinking about you, because of course we are.
Right.
But at the end of the day, sometimes it feels like an effort's needed. So at that time, I was thinking about running my first marathon. I was in that bucket list where I was like, what am I going to do? I'm turning 40. Sounds like something fun to do. And I looked at charities that supported marathon running. So there's so many charities now. There's so many marathons out there, and they're very hard to get into. I think it's a product of COVID and the pandemic. Now a lot of people are running.
Right.
I'm going to get you back to
You're gonna
running.
get me back? Okay. All right.
Now,
We'll see.
now I know he needs the pretzel, so I'm going to have the pretzel truck, and maybe I'll follow it on the course.
I'll tell you.
Don't think you're free.
Hey, listen, we both got to lose a little. Maybe that's the thing. We got to start
No.
running.
Well, I got to lose a little bit more.
A little bit. I got to lose a lot. I was 185 pounds when I ran my first New York City marathon. Now I'm pushing a little bit past 200. So I would love to lose a good 20 pounds. That would be amazing.
Well, you're carrying it well. And it's not just for appearances, right? It's for our health.
She's such a
And-
good. we're gonna have her on all the time. Great compliments. I love it.
Thank you. I love being here, and the cars are beautiful, and you're both beautiful, so I think we're going to have a great time together.
I mean, sign her up.
Winner.
Sign her up. Seriously, look at this. Wow.
So anyway, I wanted to find a charity that really meant something for me that I could fundraise for them. So I ran the Chicago Marathon in 23 for them.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I had a really great time. Ran it with the team. Raised a lot of money for Project Purple.
Oh, that's great.
Next year I went back and did it again.
Wow.
And then I decided that I was actually doing something that felt good for me, for my friends, for my family. And I said, what can I do to be more involved? So I applied to be an ambassador. They have a number of ambassador applications they take and accept. I was chosen last year and this year too.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And to sort of further this, I had the first Project Purple Pretzel Run. You
Okay.
can say it with practice, I promise you.
Project Purple
Purple
Pretzel
Pretzel
Run.
Run.
I love it. Say it 3 times fast.
That is tough. Project Purple Pretzel Run. Oh my goodness. That is tough.
I know. The pretzel makes it worth it, though.
Oh.
If you can get through the pretzel part, you're golden.
Do you give away? I mean, you obviously probably give away pretzels at the run.
We do. So that's our big giveaway. So
Okay.
this year we have a sponsor called Eat My Frank's Catering, who is a food truck. They're going to be supplying pretzels for all the runners.
Why pretzel? Where do they come from? What's the tie-in?
You know what? It was a friend who I was talking to her about about it one day, and I said, what am I going to serve in the summer? Because a lot of these races, people want to go for the medals and for the food. So in July, you don't feel like eating a stack of pancakes.
No,
I mean, maybe, right? But it's hot. It's New Jersey. We
Right.
just went through a heat wave.
Sure.
So she said, what about a pretzel? And I said, that's an excellent idea. And it went off the tongue, again, with a lot of practice.
Yeah, I was going to
It's
say.
not for beginners.
Project Purple Pretzel
Everybody
Run.
likes a pretzel.
Right. You're right.
Everybody likes a
Who doesn't like a
pretzel.
pretzel?
Now,
You're right.
does this guy make the hot dogs and the pretzels too?
So he does the hot dog truck. It's a very fancy hot dog
Doug's
truck.
Doug's in.
He's got all kinds of great food.
Let me just tell you something. I once had that.
Yeah.
Because my daughter, she'll be like this at the park. There's going to be a food truck
Yeah.
war.
Yeah.
You go down and there's all kinds of food. And she turned me on to the hot dog
Yeah.
and the pretzel. And I'm like, oh my God, this is
Okay.
decadent.
I mean, how much salt can you have talking about getting healthy and getting in shape? Let's eat all the salt
Yes.
and all the hot
Yes.
dogs. But so we're doing that. I made about $20,000 last year.
Nice.
And it went all back to Project Purple in honor of my friend.
That's
That's
great.
great.
And the
Yeah.
coolest thing about it is that his mother had said to me, I hate that people are going to forget who he was because he was a fantastic guy. Reminds me a lot of you. Really just down for a good time.
Hey, there you
Friend
go.
of
See?
everybody.
People do
just
like
a
me.
likable guy.
There
A
you
little
go.
loud
I
at
like
times.
you.
A little loud at times, but that's okay.
Doug likes me. You like say people really like me.
We do. And, that really stuck with me because,
Yeah.
burying your kid, he's 42, is terrible.
You
And I
never
said,
want to do that.
No.
Never. So actually, I brought samples for you guys of the medal last year, and I have one for both of you, and I'm going to require you now to wear it because this is now official
right.
swag for you both.
Doug, you got to put one on.
But if you flip it over on the back side, it does say, in honor of those fighting against pancreatic cancer for Jordan. So this is something we've carried through every year. The money does go to the charity. It does not go to the
great.
family. But the great thing about this is
Can you get that, Mitch?
we're carrying them with us.
You get that, or which camera? Look at that, guys. So the one side is the Purple Pretzel Run, and then on the flip side is where it says "and for Jordan."
I like the color, too. It goes well with your suit.
Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah, the purple is good, great color. Yeah, I like it.
So we're going to do that again this year. We also have the same inscription on the back, but the medal will be different. But I challenge you, run with us maybe. On the 5K.
So everybody that runs the 5K gets a medal?
Everybody does. So for me, I really wanted to make it an inclusive event.
Mm-hmm.
So we have people who go with strollers. We have people who go with dogs.
Mm-hmm.
We have people, my kids do it. My husband and I are actually betting against our children now who are 6, 8, and 10 as to who's going to take first place.
I like that a 5K like that. It's not a race like to get across the finish line. You can go out there with your family and friends and enjoy yourself on that day.
Yeah, you could
Absolutely.
walk it. You could. Not
Right.
everybody runs because
Right.
at my age right now, running is not recommended for the knees. So
No, not everybody will run, but we do have people. We actually hire what's called a rabbit. Do you know what a rabbit is?
No.
So a rabbit is a person way faster than probably the three of us together.
Okay.
And that's somebody who leads the pack out. So they're good for two reasons. First of all, they set the speed and they sort of challenge the people who are looking for a personal record.
Right.
And then they keep us all on course because
Gotcha.
there's turns through these courses. So we actually have somebody who can run this course, I believe, in 15 minutes, which is something that I could never do. Maybe
I
a
could
mile,
not-
maybe a half a block
I
in 15
cannot
minutes.
imagine that. I could, no way. To run a 5K in 15 minutes? That's fast.
that's
Yeah.
fast.
That's real fast. You're in top physical shape if that's what you're doing. Top
I remember
physical
being
shape.
young. I think it was like 5 or 6 minutes in a mile, or something
Right.
like that. You were
Right.
impressed.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
So there's a lot of fun stuff. So if you want to come out and that's your day and you want to do it in 15 minutes, you'll still get your pretzel and medal. But if you're a grandmother or a grandfather in the
You can
back,
still come out and enjoy yourself.
everybody gets a medal.
Now, where
Everybody gets a shirt.
where are you doing the run?
This is at a park called Nomahegan Park in Cranford, New Jersey,
Mm-hmm.
Union County. So for us Garden State people, about exit 138 on the Garden
Yep.
State Parkway.
Right.
A few miles in, plenty of parking, lots of facilities. We are going to have a lot of our sponsors there to create a big event. So Scream Truck is coming, one of our
Wow.
bigger sponsors.
That's great.
We've partnered with Strive to Move, a chiropractic facility in Bridgewater. They're going to give massages.
I was going to say, tell me a little bit about that. I wrote it down. Strive to Move. You can find Strive to Move on Instagram.
Sure can.
Strive to Move. So tell me a little bit about how you met Strive to Move and what they do for Project Purple as well.
Sure. So they actually worked on me and sort of rehabbed me back to health after I had a sort of a back and hip injury that nobody really knew what was going on with it. And I wish I had a great injury story for you, but I don't. I think I was in my late 30s.
You did a hip replacement?
No, I didn't have to go that far because they
Okay.
actually saved me, which is the great part.
Okay, great.
So I'd rolled over in bed and I just felt this tear across my butt, and that did not feel good. And I was about 6 months postpartum with my third child at that point after 3 C-sections. So
You
that
got
was
3
probably
kids?
it. I have 3 kids. Again, we're betting
Wow.
against them during the 5K. I'm going to have to ask you who
Wow.
you got.
Oh my goodness.
And I ended up finding them after a lot of people weren't able to tell me what was wrong and fix it. And I started going to those doctors, Dr. Cayley and Dr. Ashton. digestion, and they really showed me how to improve my body and rehab it while staying active. Because a lot of times when you go to doctors, especially the older school of thought, is sit and don't do anything.
Okay.
And unfortunately, in a lot of cases, that's not the best way
No.
to go. And of course, I'm not a doctor, but a lot of times with the right medical professional having your back, you can get back to the activity you love. So for sure, they were a company that I worked with for a long time. One of the things I'm really important on is I want my sponsors to be people that I support, I align with, like here, how we're together now.
I think so. This is great.
You know, I don't pick anybody out just for the money, because anybody will give you money, but it's who do your values align with, who has your back, who wants to support you in the right way.
Yeah.
So all of the sponsors that you'll see at our event are people that I'd put my name behind, the hot dog truck included, as well as some of our other friends.
How can you not love her? I mean, she is. How can really?
A hot dog wrapped in a pretzel.
Hot dog roast. Oh my God.
We're going to call it the Doug Wells.
I like that. I like
now
that.
You
Now
got
you
him.
have to come.
He'll be
Now
there.
I gotta go.
That's it. You just sold it to him. You got him now. He is the great showman of Ray Catena. Now he'll be there for sure.
You're going to come in your suit and your medal. Okay? We've got the official uniform.
I love it. They call it the Doug Wells.
The Doug Wells.
This is on a Sunday, correct?
It's on a Sunday. So it's on a Sunday. It's
July 13th, yeah.
July 13th at No Mohegan Park in Cranford. We right now have about 425 participants already
that's
sold
pretty
up.
big.
It's a lot of people for a little
is a lot of
grassroots 5K.
And for your second year doing it, right?
Exactly. So we're already above last year's numbers, both in terms of our sponsors and in terms of the people who are coming.
Holy.
And you know, my favorite thing about this is my friend Sarah comes out with her daughters and her family, and they come to the event. So they live out in Long Island, and they make the trip out. I know they're listening to us now, and she did want me to tell you thank you for putting yourself
Long Island. Hello out
behind.
there. What town in Long Island are they from?
They're out in Northport.
Northport. Oh, that's out there.
Yep, they're far out there. So
Yeah.
this is nice. This is sort of my excuse to get her to come out and visit me.
Gotcha. Yeah, I know my wife is from Long Island, and we.
What part of Long Island?
Well, she's from Belmore, Long Island.
Sure.
South Shore.
Well, yeah, and we go out to South Hold for 4th of July. We'll be out there in that area. So yeah, I know. So I know the area very well. That's like wine country.
You'll be out in
there.
Greenport.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, we'll be in
Because
Greenport.
my father's from Mattituck.
Yeah, that's okay.
I grew up out
I
in
think a couple
Mattituck
of times we actually tried to
summer.
meet up out there.
And then my wife's side of the family, they're in Sag Harbor.
Yep.
And we always go out.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, beautiful country.
Yeah,
Sounds
it's really
beautiful.
nice. It is. It's real pretty out there. You would never imagine. You would never know it. You know, once you just get onto the island, you would never know that there's such a humongous, beautiful area, wine country out on Long Island, all the way out in the end. It's just gorgeous. But yeah, it's quite a ride. Quite a ride.
Maybe we'll have to move the 5K out there next year. You had me at wine
Holy.
country a little bit, right?
And the winners get to the wine. Get to
Yeah.
have wine.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's nice. They make the ride out. She comes and she sees the support and she feels the love. So
I'm sure.
I don't do anything half, you know what? I like to go all in.
Gotcha.
So I said, how do I make this an event that benefits Project Purple for a charity that I care about and shows her a good time? Because again, I don't want to forget Jordan. His mom doesn't want it.
And it keeps his name in that everybody remembers, because
Yeah.
as we know in the world, sometimes you forget things.
Yep.
And,
Right.
and the key is to not forget and to always think that, there's a part, he's got the kids here, and, he had a life here, and he was
Yep.
loved by a lot of people. So you want to carry that on some way, somehow, which
Yep.
I think this is great.
Yep.
Do you mind if I add this? I'm going to see if I can add this information to our blog.
I would love
on our,
that.
on our dealer group.
That'd be great.
And maybe some of our customers will read it and maybe participate.
We would love that.
That's great.
And we'll still give you the Doug Wells regardless. You didn't have to give that to me, but we certainly appreciate the
See
support.
that? I got that just for being
She's
smiling.
fantastic. Wow.
But let me tell you another quick story if we have time.
You do.
Okay, great. So
I took over.
No, I love it. It's great. No, I'm checking because I also want to get. I think we're going to talk to the CEO of Project Purple.
Sure.
So I want to schedule them. Matter of fact, why don't we try to get them on? How much time do I have until we take another break? All right, perfect.
All right.
So, do you have a number for them?
I do. Do you want the number?
We're doing it live. We're doing it
do it
live.
live and you're
Why
gonna
don't
put 'em
you
on
just
speaker.
show me the number?
I'm going to show you.
And yeah, let me try to get them on.
And maybe I'll tell you the quick story while you're doing this.
Okay.
All right, so I'm wearing a bracelet it's called Love Life, and I don't know if you can see that there. I know the camera's on the other direction. Oh, you're looking at me right here. I'm sorry, I'm new at this. You'll have to forgive me.
Aiden, can you help me out?
But anyway, when Sarah was going through Jordan's things after he had passed, she found his philosophies. So at one point he was asked to write down his 3 life philosophies, and one of them was love life. So last year, one of the big fundraisers we did with Little Words Project was a Love Life fundraiser with bracelets that we sold to friends and family across the country. So even on a junkie day, I look at this. I've carried this through marathons, and I think about loving life because that's what he wanted me to do. So again, to celebrate him and have have that love of life is something that's so important. I think we're accomplishing that.
That's
I'm really
great.
excited for it.
That's a great saying. Believe it or not, there's something like that in the F1 movie that Brad Pitt.
That was a great tie-in. Excellent.
And yeah, but if you haven't seen the movie, go see it because you're going to love it, and you'll get the tie-in when you see the movie. You'll understand where that comes from.
I think we have the CEO on with us right now. Hello, are you? Is this the CEO of Project Purple?
Is this Greg T?
It is Greg T. You're on with Greg T Live podcast. I have Erin Peters with us, and I also have Doug Wells with us as well, the general manager of Ray Catena Mercedes-Benz. And
Hi, how are you?
You're officially live.
Awesome. Hey, thanks for having us on, and thanks for highlighting the wonderful work that Erin's been doing there in Jersey. It's a pleasure. Good morning, everyone. Hey, Erin.
Just amazing. Yeah, she's amazing. I can't believe it. But so what can you tell me? Like, how did you become starting Project Purple? How did it all come about?
Yeah, so I like to use the term founder and CEO, Greg. So my dad was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in 2008, December of 08. And I had my own business at the time. Mm-hmm. So my parents were immigrants. We won't go long into that story. They came here from Italy in 1968. I have an older brother, and they did everything for my brother and I. I grew up in Bridgeport, Connecticut, not too far from where you guys are sitting right now, actually. Mm-hmm. And they provided just a great life. And so when my dad got diagnosed with this cancer, and cancer wasn't foreign to our family, but this cancer was foreign, I just put everything on hold for my business. I was very fortunate. I had 5 employees, and I just became the chauffeur. I became the chauffeur for my dad and my mom. And in 3.5 years, I missed like 2 appointments. And you just see a lot of the cracks in the system,
right?
In terms of the medical system. My dad had great support. He had great insurance, but clearly, there's a lot of people that don't have insurance, that don't have great support. We just didn't have good access to quality care. And this is going back almost 15 years ago. And, I don't think much has changed in some aspects. And that's why, we decided to start Project Purple. And that's why we're here to help families through the journey and support research that needs to be done.
Gotcha. Well, you guys are doing an amazing job, and I understand I feel the whole story. I understand what you did and why you did it, and this is really great. And you put me in contact with Erin, this beautiful person. So because of you're making the world a little bit more happy. We're making more friends and better relationships.
Thanks, Greg. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So tell me more about Project Purple.
Yeah, so, we've evolved over 15 years. We're actually in our 15th year celebrating 15 years in business. I eventually sold my business that I was in and decided to do this full time, even though I was doing it full time since day one.
Right.
But we have really grown in our programs. We're one of the few programs in the entire country that actually will step in and support patients during that journey with financial aid. And we have paid over, I don't know, I think now the total's up to over $1.5 million in grants.
Wow.
We've helped over 1,500 families nationwide. And so that's a program that is something that's really near and dear to my heart, given my own personal experience. And also, I'm sure, as you know, just because you get a cancer diagnosis doesn't mean that the bills just stop. And a lot of people that get diagnosed with this cancer can't go back to work because, one, the cancer is that violent in the sense that it just debilitates people from actually functioning daily. And then 2, the treatments are so rough and tough. The chemotherapy is super toxic. Yep. A lot of the patients don't do well on the treatments. And I say don't do well in the sense, if you're typical is a 2-week cycle. So if someone gets a chemotherapy treatment today, for the first 10 days, they feel awful. And then, the last couple of days, they feel great. But then what happens? Then you go back in for treatment, right? So it just becomes working becomes a real challenge with the treatment protocols that they have. So we step in, we pay utilities, we pay medical co-pays, we pay housing, rent, mortgage, and we really try to give, patients the ability to worry about staying with their loved ones and then also fighting the cancer. And then the other program that we support is research. And, we're closing in on almost $4 million invested in research the last couple years since COVID, I would say. Coming out of COVID, we've been really invested in early detection because that's how we're going to make a change in this space.
Wow.
So that's kind of what we're about.
I think it's incredible. Really, it is. That's outrageous. Very good. And Doug was saying that what are you going to do? You're going to take the Project Purple. You're going to put it on your letterhead. And
No. What I'm going to do is we have a blog on our Ray Catena website, and we're just going to put the information on the blog.
Great. So we're going to try to reach out to more people.
All of our Ray Catena customers.
Yes, all the customers of Ray Catena will now know about Project Purple, which is really fantastic.
They're all going to be fit.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Did you let him know that I couldn't hear him?
I did.
I did not have headphones on.
Well, listen,
I apologize.
You did a great job.
So
Thank you.
That's okay. Hey, Greg, really quick.
Yes.
Maybe we could get Doug to donate a pace car for
They would like you to donate a
Pretzel
pace
Run
car
mission.
for the Pretzel Run.
Oh, my
the Ray
goodness.
Catena
And if it was
pace car.
purple,
You want us to
and if
lead
it's
the race with a car?
Ooh, that's
leading that
fun.
race?
Yeah, and if it's purple, it's even better.
I got to see if we have a purple car.
He's going to look into a purple car. We're going to see if we can find a purple car. Well, listen, thank you very much for spending some time with us and shedding a little bit more light on what Project Purple does. We really do appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Greg, and big thanks to Erin for all her hard work there in New Jersey.
I'm happy to do it. Thanks for having me.
Yep, this is terrific. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I got to let you go. And all right, guys, so listen. You just heard a lot about Project Purple and what they do. So honestly, now tell them where you can find them. It's Project Purple Pretzel Run on Instagram. Project Purple Pretzel Run. Say that 5 times fast. There's
Well, you
no
got to
way
add
you can.
the underscores, too.
Oh, my God.
You have to
And
send your people.
You can't forget all the underscores. It's Project underscore Purple underscore Pretzel underscore Run. I mean, as if the name itself wasn't hard enough, they threw in the underscores everywhere. Check it out. Find them on Instagram.
I'll find a way to find it because I want to find the
Wait
pretzel.
a second. Here, I've got an easy one for you.
Yes.
Cranford5k.com.
Oh, my gosh.
I should have told you that first.
There's so much going
That's
on.
easier. Cranford5k.com.
So the race is July the 13th at Nomahagen Park in Cranford, New Jersey, 8 a.m. We're all going to be out there, and come on out and show your support for Project Purple Pretzel 5K Run, and we'll see you out there. Erin, thank you so much for everything. Thanks for the medals. Thanks for the shirt. Thanks for the swag.
Of course.
All of it. And you are such a beautiful person. Thank you so
you.
much for being you.
And you just breezed through my big announcement.
What was it?
Who is my special guest on July 13th who's going to be my honorary host?
I will be there. I will be there.
Oh, my
saying,
goodness.
Go, go, go. As everybody runs, I'll be sitting there going, you're doing great. You're
and if
doing
you
great.
see a pretzel on a rod in front of him, you know exactly what
I'll be
happens.
cheering you on Sunday morning. I'll be out there 8 o'clock in the
I
morning.
may
I
have
can't
to
wait.
come just to watch this.
Doug, you're more than welcome. They would love to have you.
We
They'd
would love to have you.
Yeah.
And as a lifelong listener of you growing up, you're a great heart. You're as great as you seem on the radio.
Listen,
I'm so happy to be here with you.
I put on a good act. Yeah. No, but I
What
like,
you see is what you get.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I know him
And I also
for
like-
a very long time.
And the fact is that you don't have to run it. You can walk it as well. So it's for everybody. So there's no harm, no foul. I can be out there, and after everybody gets going, I can start to do my walk, and I can walk the 5K. It'll be great. I'll ask my family if they can make it, if they can come out there. I don't know what they're doing, but if I can be somewhere, they can be somewhere. For Project Purple, I think it's good.
The only thing I just can't get out of my head,
Yeah.
and I'm only going to say bits and parts of it, and you'll remember it.
That I ran a marathon one time?
No. It was, you were on the Z100 show.
Yeah.
And let's just say it involved ice.
Yes.
And I can't get that out of my
Oh,
head.
my God. Come on now.
Well, we're going to give you a shirt if you come. Is that what we're talking
Yes.
about?
I'm going to get a shirt.
No, we're good. We're good. We're all set. We're fine. We're fine.
All right.
We don't need anything. All right. We have to take a break for some of our sponsors again. Again, guys, if you'd like to be a Where to Go, please message me at Greg T Live on Instagram, and you will be a sponsor for the podcast, and we'll get you out there, and then you'll be a Where to Go next week. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Where to Go. They're the best around, and we're going to prove it.
Hi, I'm Chris Baker Jr. This is my mom, Carol Baker. Our family-owned CNC Air, Heat, Plumbing, and Electric. We offer to your home full electric services, plumbing, and heating and air conditioning, also for your businesses. And this is Where to Go.
I'm Eddie from CNC, and I'm going to bend it up and make a drain pan to sit underneath the unit so water doesn't come through your ceiling.
You just pick it up and say,
Hello, and thank you for choosing CNC Air, Heat, and Plumbing.
Put 2 new boilers in, all new circulator pumps for the radiant heat, mixing valves.
If you need anybody for heating and air conditioning, electric, then you want to hire CNC Heating Air Conditioning. You never know, I may be showing up to your house.
Lunar Audio and Video. They are a full-service audio and video integration company based in northern New Jersey, specializing in both residential and commercial projects. They offer a comprehensive range of services including home automation, video distribution, multi-room audio, lighting, security systems. Now for commercial clients, Luna Audio and Video provides digital signage, video walls, projectors, and security installations. And then on the residential side of things, they offer their clients home theaters, home audio systems, and advanced security systems as well. LunarAV.com. Lunar Audio and Video, that's where to go.
Well, thanks to Greg T, Red Tomato Urban Pizzeria is stuck in my head. What color is the tomato? Red Tomato. Red Tomato has been serving Marlboro, Cold Snack, and Manalapan communities with your favorite Italian dishes and delicious pizza for years. And Red Tomato offers gluten-free options and cauliflower crust personal pizzas. Red Tomato is in the Wawa Shopping Center on Route 520, and you can go ahead and order ahead of time at redtomatonj.com. What color is the tomato? Red Tomato. That's where to go.
Where to go?
All right, so it's been a fun-filled Monday morning so far. It's Greg T Live. If you're watching us on YouTube, thank you so much. If you're just out and about and you're listening to us on Spotify or on iHeart or Apple or Amazon, well, hello to you guys as well. But thank you very much for being a part of today's podcast. We are live. It's the Summer Tour, and we're doing it at every single Ray Catena car dealership throughout the tri-state area. And this stop today is in Edison, New Jersey on Route 1, and we are at Land Rover. And special thanks to the general manager, Anthony DeMonte.
Yep.
Anthony DeMonte, the general manager of Land Rover, for having us. Now, I know that Anthony really wanted to be here, but he couldn't. Can we tell him why? Are we allowed to say why? Do you know why?
I don't know.
So I'm the only one that knows why he can't be here today? Let's just say that Land Rover, they are bringing a car to a celebrity of sorts, a coach, one of the coaches of one of the professional sport. Oh, you know who?
I know. Because I got the phone call and I put it together.
Okay, gotcha. So he is delivering a Land Rover right now. I mean, how about that? Having the general manager deliver the car to your home. I mean, this is pretty amazing. So, yeah, one of the coaches of one of our local sports teams is getting a Land Rover today. It's pretty cool. I think it's pretty neat.
We are a popular organization.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Well, listen, who doesn't know Ray Catena? I mean, if you're in this area, you're going to deal with all of the athletes, all the professionals, whether they're Knicks and Giants, Nets, Jets, Giants, everybody. So, Yankees, Mets, the Devils, Rangers, Islanders, everybody.
Well, and we have all the right cars. So,
that's true.
And the right brands.
That's true.
So it's...
I'll tell you, walking around Land Rover, and I've never driven a Land Rover. I'd love to have a Land Rover, but I didn't realize how many certified pre-owned that you have here, which is great. So the price tag fits everybody, almost like Project Purple, where you can be runner or walker.
100%.
Yeah, that's great.
And a lot of them are indoors, so you get to see them in all their glory. And if you didn't know that they were pre-owned...
Yeah.
If you walk around here, you would realize that these are not new. These are pre-loved.
Yeah, that's pre-loved. I like that. Pre-loved. Yes. Yeah, I'm telling you, I really had no idea. Now, when we started the show, they had me on the rooftop of the Defender. I mean, it has a ladder on the side of it.
Pretty cool, right?
It is very cool. It really is cool. Like, I mean, they were like, you guys want to climb up there? And I'm like, what? And Aiden, one of the camera guys, Aiden was like, this seems like a really cool shot. So I thought it was pretty neat to climb up there on top and use the side ladder on the Defender.
No, it's a cool car.
Yeah, no, it really is. I think it's great. Really nice. And listen, and as I've been told, we're looking for someone to come in and purchase a Ray Catena vehicle. Just mention Greg T Live. A lot of podcasts would be like giving them away. Not us. We're asking for you to come in and buy it. This way we can save face with Ray Catena. For their investment, we'd love to give back somehow. So if somebody wants to come in and purchase a vehicle, that would be great. Matter of fact, a friend of mine heard last week's podcast. We were in Freehold.
Yes.
And we were talking over there. They were asking me about about the electric vehicles. If I could pick your brain a
Sure.
little bit about the electric vehicles. So, like, if let's say I wanted to buy an electric vehicle, which I don't have, but if I wanted to get one, do I have to actually put in a certain charger? Do I have to, install that in my house, or can I run heavy duty wire into my outlet?
No, the proper way is you need to have a 220. You can either have a 220 outlet put in, and then the cord will fit into that, or you actually have the piece that goes in. So I recommend getting a wall unit so you can program it to your phone when it should charge, when it shouldn't charge, so that, like, if you get home at 5 o'clock and you're not going out the rest of the day, peak time to charge would be after 9 p.m. because you spend less money on electricity by doing that. And then you wake up in the morning, it's completely charged. I do recommend that if you do not, if you're going to buy an electric car, no matter what the brand is, that you install the charge, either have that charger in your house or have it in your office. 90% of all your charging will be done at home. I got my wife an EQ.
Okay.
And she loves not going to a gas station.
Right.
She loves the way it drives. And I had the charger installed, so I do not have those issues. Now, she's going to go out to Sag Harbor next weekend, the weekend after the 4th, with my daughter.
Right.
And she's not going to take her car because she doesn't want to wait online, in the Hamptons. She says, well, there'll be lines to get charged. And so she feels more comfortable driving my daughter's car.
Well, how far will one charge get you?
So her car will do right around 300 miles.
300 miles. What? Well, that's no difference than a tank of gas.
So
right?
So an average car, depending on the type of car it is and the size of the gas tank, would get between 300 to 500 miles to a tank full of gas.
Oh, I don't even think mine gets 500 miles.
A lot of it is the size of the tank is the key. And then like I'm driving a brand new Mercedes-Benz S-Class.
Right.
And this big, heavy, beautiful car gets incredible gas mileage on the highway because it's got such a great motor. So this car, when you're just cruising along, you're getting like 30 miles to the gallon. So the range that you get out of this car is actually quite incredible. So all these cars, whether it's electric, the hybrid, which I think is really a great way for somebody to put their toe in for electricity. The hybrid, like I have one of my guys driving a GLE 450 hybrid, and he's gotten over 1,000 miles
Between
on
both.
one tank of gas by using both.
Right, because he has the battery and the gas.
Correct.
That's incredible. 1,000 miles. That's unheard of. That's crazy. Yeah. Wow. All right, so now is it pricey to have one of those? I mean, I'm talking to you as a consumer because I don't know.
So what I find, on average, I tell everybody it's probably like a $2,500 to $3,000 investment because
Gotcha.
you have to.
So no more than $3,000.
No.
Okay.
No.
But but that's the max that you would pay to have a battery, a charging station installed in your home.
Correct.
And again, that's what you're saying is the best way to do it.
100%.
Can you have that rolled into your bill, or how do you? Or that's just
No,
comes right
but
out of your
sometimes,
pocket?
sometimes Mercedes-Benz will have a special that they'll actually throw in a wall unit charger sometimes.
Okay.
So and then some of these other manufacturers, I understand, do the same thing. Then you just got to pay for the electrician to install it.
Gotcha. So you're paying somebody to come out and put it in, and they're going to charge you the
Correct.
$3,000.
The average wall unit chargers you can go out and buy.
Right.
You can buy them on average from $350 to $800.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so then, but again, now if you choose to not have the charging station built in, you still could plug it into your wall, but you need
You need 220. If you plug it in 110, your car will never get charged.
Gotcha. No charging. So you just can't put it into regular. You have to have it upgraded to a 210, and then you can charge it that way if you want. But now what's the difference between the charging station? Is it how fast?
It's much faster. It's giving you more power. So if you have a 220 line,
right?
Then they hook it up where you're getting a lot more electricity into that unit versus a 110 line.
I see. Gotcha. So it's the time it takes to charge it up.
Yeah, so
that's what it is.
Like if you typical car, you'll charge it overnight. It'll be fully charged.
Okay, I got it. All right, now I'm at least.
My wife only puts hers on the charger once, maybe twice a week, only just to have it because she can.
I'm telling you right now, like, you are legitimately talking to me as if I'm a consumer. I don't have an electric car, so I don't know. But a friend of mine was listening to my last podcast, and I happened to see her, and she said, hey. And she's like, you're going to love this. I said, what? She's like, I was listening to your podcast, and I'm like, oh, thank you. And she's like, and you hooked me. They were going over some of the prices for some of these new electric vehicles. It was over at
For the old Mercedes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and she's like, it's very enticing. Can you tell me? And I said, I don't know much about it. I said, but I have a podcast, coming up on Monday, and I'll talk to the general manager and get the
It's
details.
worth having the charger in your house, no matter what. So whether you have a full electric or even if you just have a hybrid, it's worth having.
Got you.
So you're going to see as the years go on that more and more people will have some sort of a charger on for a full electric or for the hybrid, because to take advantage of a full hybrid, a hybrid will run without the battery.
Okay.
And the typical battery on a hybrid gets you 50 or 60 miles on, and that's local driving. But you got to keep it charged. So installing this charging unit in your house will eventually, after so many years, will get you your money back.
Okay, I get it. I see and you're right. I see what you're saying.
And it'll add the resale value to your house too if you end up selling it.
So now, how does Doug Wells get broken ribs? So are your ribs right now? Are they broken? Are they fractured? What happened to you?
He said the exact words were broken. He says, there's nothing you really do with the ribs. They have to heal on their own. What happened is,
do you feel it that it's broken? Which side? Which side?
On my right side.
On your right side.
It's all black and blue. I can't lay on that side.
Oh my God!
Now I can breathe okay and all that. So
right,
I passed
it's got to be poking. I guess the bones.
My wife still has trauma from what happened.
So tell me what happened.
So we're on my friend's boat. We get on his boat in Jersey. He's got a 39-foot contender.
Okay.
Great center console.
Okay.
And we go over to Queens. We want to go to Don Pep's.
Oh.
For an early dinner.
Very nice.
So we get on the boat, and there's 6 of us, and we're a little choppy. That it was not this past Friday, the Friday before, and we're just cruising along, heading over, and as we're slowing down, going into the Rockaways to go in, because you got to go in all the way into Queens, to tie up so we can call an Uber and take a 10-minute Uber ride.
Okay.
I'm standing, not facing forward. I'm actually facing, relaxing, looking at the sun. So the bow of the boat's to my behind. And he got hit with what I call a rogue wave that must have come off the rocks and came the other way. Even he didn't see it. And the way it hit the boat, it rocked the boat. So I went completely in the air.
Gotcha.
And I came down on the side of the boat, which they call the gunnel.
Oh, man.
And and knocked the wind out of me. And thankfully, I did not go into the water.
Oh, man.
And I did lose my sunglasses. They're gone. But I did land inside the boat.
Wow.
And everybody thought I needed to go to the hospital.
Immediately.
I didn't go to the hospital.
You didn't go to dinner, did you?
We did go to dinner.
No! Wait a second. So you're injured, you're in so much pain, and you still went to dinner?
I took one for the team. I didn't want to ruin their dinner
plans. Oh, my God.
Because we had a mishap.
I could not. I would have been like, take me to a hospital immediately. So there you are with broken ribs eating dinner.
Yeah, so then when we got home.
What are you, a boxer? You're a UFC fighter?
I just, my mother made me never want to rush to go to a doctor.
Oh, my gosh, man. Wow. So what's the recovery time like?
He says probably 6 to 8 weeks.
Wow, yeah.
And
how are you sleeping?
I trying to sleep. The side I sleep on is the side that's broken, so I'm not sleeping normal. Now, I think because of the way I'm sleeping, I'm creating a sciatica situation.
Oh,
I woke up with pins and needles in my thigh today. So,
you're in sad shape right now.
But you know what? I come to work.
Yeah,
do what I got to do.
That's right.
And
from now on, when somebody says, "Oh, I'm not feeling well, I can't make it," you can get on the phone and be like, "Get up and get into work."
Saturday
now.
morning, I was at the dealership at 8:00 in the morning.
Wow, Doug, look at you, man.
Now, 3/4 of my team would probably be out for a month.
Exactly. That's what I would be me.
They called out sick if they get a hangnail.
That would be me. I'd be like, I can't make it. I can't come in. I'd be like, I just broke my ribs. I'm not feeling it. I'm on medication. I'd be giving you every excuse in the book to not come to work. I can't believe you. Listen, it's who you are. It's your makeup. Your parents raised you to be tough.
There was no excuse.
Wow.
My mother always said, "You want to play hard, work hard."
Work hard, play hard. I got you. Well, I'm glad you're here with me today, hosting the podcast. Thank you so much.
It was my pleasure, and thank you for asking me.
Thank you.
And I hope everybody thinks I did an okay job. I don't want Garrett's job.
You did amazing.
So, Garrett, if you're in Mexico, I know you're posting weddings from Mexico.
Did you see that? I saw that on his Instagram. I saw that as well.
I hope you're watching me.
All right, guys, we got to take our last and final where to go break. And let me explain it to you guys again. If you're a small business and you'd like to do some advertising, some sponsorships here with Greg T Live, please message me on Instagram at Greg T Live. Let me know how I can get in touch with you, and we'll put something together. We'll talk about it. And next week, we can make sure that you are a part of the Greg T Live podcast. You will be where to go. On this note, this is Where to Go. We'll be right back with more.
Now, if you don't know, Playa Bowls is the popular chain specializing in acai bowls, smoothies, and other superfruit-based treats. Now, Playa Bowls got started back in 2014 right at the Jersey Shore and has grown all across the U.S. They have bowls like acai, dragon fruit, coconut greens, topped with fresh fruit, granola, little honey, and other healthy ingredients. So as summer approaches, get beach-inspired, health-conscious smoothie bowls over at Playa Bowls in Princeton, South Brunswick, and East Windsor, New Jersey. Playa Bowls, that's where to go.
Where to go?
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Greg T. So I'm starting my GLP-1 medication journey with Forward Care. They work with only U.S.-based compound pharmacies. They manufacture everything in the United States. Everything is specifically curated for you and your plan. And they also pair you with an experienced physician. So Forward Care makes these medications not only super easy to access, but also offers the best prices on the market. I encourage you to go to Forward Care's website to learn more and join me on my health journey. And we'll do it together. Just go to forward.care and enter the code GREG25, and you're going to get 25% off your membership.
Where to go?
If you're craving that real Nashville flavor, well, you want to go over to Broadway Chicken in Middletown, New Jersey, where they are serving up the crispiest fried chicken that you've ever tasted, seasoned with that bold, spicy Nashville kick. Dig into saucy wings, juicy sandwiches, and a garden fresh salad as well. Then for dessert, how about a thick, creamy ice cream shake that's going to hit that sweet spot every single time. Whether you're all about that heat or just keeping it classic, there's something for everyone at Broadway Chicken, Route 35 in Middletown, New Jersey. Bringing that Nashville flavor right here to New Jersey with Broadway Chicken. That's where to go.
Where to go?
This is when you give me my heads up that we're live. Oh my God, anything can happen on the Greg T Live podcast. Every single Monday, we do it from a Ray Catena location. So today we're in Edison. We're at Land Rover Edison on Route 1, and you could be here. You could be a part of a live audience. I gotta tell you, we did not get that many people here today. All right, so listen, we have Erin Peters from Project Purple. That was my live audience today. But you are allowed to be here. Doors open up at 10 o'clock, and the show starts at 11. Please come on by, make us stop in. And next week, I just got told, we're going to be back in Marlboro. We're going to be at Ray Catena Land Rover in Marlboro on Route 9. So we're doing Land Rover back-to-back is what we're going to be doing. So today we're in Edison. Next week we'll be in Marlboro. It's the summer tour, and by the end of the summer, we'll have visited every single Ray Catena location that they have. Again, special thanks to Erin Peters, the founder and creator of the Pretzel 5K run of Project Purple. When I met her, I said, "Oh, you're the founder of Project Purple." She's like, no. But anyway, so you can find, let me get you all the information real quick before we go. Some more information here. It's Project Purple. The 5K run is July the 13th. And it'll be at Nomahagan Park in Cranford, New Jersey. Starts at 8 a.m. And you can follow them at Project _, gotta get the underscore in there, Purple _ Pretzel _ Run. I mean, that's a lot of underscores. I don't know who they're hiding from, but anyway, that's how it works. Again, it is going to be a great day, and I'll be out there. I will be cheering you guys on at the beginning, and then I will walk it, or maybe a little jog, but I will not be running a 5K. I'll be, my running days are past me by, and if Garrett was here, he'd be sitting there going, why? Because you're all fused together, because tell everybody what you see. Okay, it's part of the injury, part of my injury why I can't run, but either way, I'll be walking. I don't want to embarrass myself anymore. My running days are slightly behind me. But again, I want to say thank you to everybody that made this thing happen. Thank you to Anthony DeMonte, the general manager of Land Rover. What? Anthony DeMonte. What? What happened? Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, who's the general manager? Jonathan. How come somebody didn't come tell me? Leave it to me to mess the whole thing up again. You know, we're only live on the Greg T Live podcast. On that note, if you'd like to be a sponsor, please hit me up at Greg T Live on Instagram. And follow us there at Greg T Live on Instagram. Like us and subscribe on YouTube, and we'll be talking all about you next week. Again, next week, we're in Marlboro, New Jersey. So, on behalf of everybody here on the podcast, this is Greg T. Greg T, see you later. We're out. See you next week.